This is the Big Deal Podcast, brought to you and powered by New Covenant Baptist Church in Albertville, Alabama. And on this podcast, we're asking the question, what's the big deal about all things Bible, theology, and culture? I'm Justin.
I'm Brad.
Welcome to the Big Deal, everyone.
I will tell you a big sin.
All right.
If y'all do not go listen to my brother's EP right now, simple. He released a 4-song album.
I did. 4.
It's called
You forgot.
No, I was trying to make a joke somehow making
Okay.
it for me.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to bring, because it's, everything's got to be about me.
Yeah.
It's called Till We Live Gently.
Yeah.
You should go listen and try to decipher what my brother says to you.
Because Brad can't understand my voice. I
can't understand.
can't understand the diction going on.
Yeah, but I do love
I think you're actually just surprised by what I said on one of those lines. You're like, I was like, oh, that is what you said. Yeah, the Steepled Bakery.
Yeah. Y'all need to go
Because it's
listen
at church. You get it, Steepled? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the best poetry in the history of the world, and y'all should go listen to it because if he gets 10,000 listens on Spotify, he gets a $5. So go listen. That's about how much it is. It's so terrible.
10,000, I think it'd be like $30.
If y'all will listen 10,000 times, I'm trying to push it up there so he can get $5 and take me get a Bo biscuit.
Yeah, it takes
something.
a lot.
Anyway, yeah.
It's doing pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
He's gotten almost a penny. You got to get $10, I think, before you can get a check.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the money. It's getting donated. All the
money is getting donated. Maker's Child, right?
Yeah, Maker's Child. Yeah. Every bit. I think I'm going to do a t-shirt run soon too. Same thing.
For Maker's Child or for your LP? EP?
But it's going to be for the Maker's
What's an LP?
An LP is a full one.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot what the E and L will stand for, but it has to do with tape back in the days.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they still call it that.
Yeah, they call it that.
So I didn't say something stupid.
No, you do. Yeah, this is an EP for 4 songs.
And it stands for Evangelical Purpose.
That's right.
No, it doesn't. I don't know what it stands for.
It's all getting donated, though.
Yeah. Unless it gets up into 1 million, then we're going to have to be like, well, what do we do?
If it got 1 million, that means the Maker's Child would get like $3,000. That'd be great.
Yeah. Literally, bands these days are not making money off Spotify listens.
No.
They are making it through the clout they get from Spotify to then have a tour.
Yeah.
I think.
A show.
That's my guess.
Shows and T-shirts.
Shows and merch.
Yeah.
Yep. Coffee mugs and T-shirts.
Yeah. We're going to do a T-shirt run probably.
I can't wait. I'm buying one.
Yeah. And,
is my name going to be on it somewhere?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do, I got some designs in my head. I might get Jacob Hollinsworth to make me some good stuff with it. But it's all going to be Maker's Child stuff too, though, for them. So
we love Maker's Child.
we do. Yep. Welcome, Brad.
Welcome. Thank you.
You excited?
Super.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you so excited about?
I'm going to go to lunch with my daughter today.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And?
And my buddy.
Yeah.
Justin. Come bring him. Yeah.
Yeah.
She started a new job today.
Yeah. Her first big girl job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other than nannying, it's a pretty responsible job.
It's
That's
actually more responsibility in the nanny than what she's doing.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah. It's a little bit scary,
Honestly, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That we entrust, teenage high schoolers, but I'm glad we do it because it's probably good for everybody.
Yeah. Well, they used to, back in the old days, people were having kids then. So, it's just a different world.
That is true.
But Zoe is CPR certified. So
Zoe is pretty responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good.
I'd trust her with anything nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoe, you rise to the occasion. You're never going to listen to this, but proud of you.
Yep.
We're going to talk about sin today.
I can't wait.
That's what's the next thing on our theology series. Sin.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comics. I have no idea who made it, where it came from, or anything. But me and Steph throw it around all the time. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a little comic about there's a little comic strip about a girl who comes and asks her mom for some advice. She says, well, I just don't know what to do. And the mom looks at her and she says, little Lucy, whatever her name is, just follow your heart. And then the next scene is the picture of her heart, and it's got like fangs. It looks like a vampire going, sin. I love that. And I think it actually had something to do with Disney or whatever. It was like
making fun of follow your heart.
Yeah, follow your heart kind of mentality.
Yeah, follow your heart into your own oblivion.
Yeah.
My favorite is Calvin and Hobbes.
You a big Calvin and Hobbes fan?
Yes. I haven't read them in years, but I used to love it. I read every single strip in every book he put out. But
did you know that the Calvin and Hobbes collection on Goodreads is the highest rated book on Goodreads.
You should. Have you read it?
No.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's one. Calvin was a little troublemaker. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's a little mischievous boy. Anyway, his mom told him to go get a bath. He was filthy. If I told you about
Oh
this.
yeah, I know this one.
And he goes and he gets in the tub, and it's just like from the side view, and he's just sitting in the tub with this smirk on his face for 2 panels.
Uh-huh.
And the third one, it goes above him. He's still got his clothes on, and he's sitting in the tub with no water, and he goes, I obey the letter of the law, if not the spirit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that is perfect. That is exactly what we do.
Yeah, and
Every single counseling session you've ever had
Oh,
with
my
a
gosh.
teenage person with hormones is about what can I get away with? How can I obey the letter of the law and not the spirit?
you said just teenagers? Is that what you said? Teenagers?
You know, adults would never
No.
come to you for counseling. They're just no sin.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
You get them in the teenage years, they still have a conscience before it's seared with a hot iron.
Goodness gracious.
Adults come to you when it's too late.
They do after they've already wrecked everything.
Wrecked everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you look at them, you stare at me like, I don't know if we can fix this.
I don't know if we can
I
fix
don't
it.
know.
I don't
We're gonna have to. It seems like I think we're gonna have to.
What
trust
do I
God.
do, Pastor?
Yeah.
You get a lawyer, bud. That's what you got to do. Yes.
Have you? Oh man.
Have you considered not being an idiot?
Yeah.
Have you considered that?
Yeah. Have you considered time travel?
Yeah. This can only be fixed with a time machine.
Yeah. Today we're talking about sin. And that's a good setup for our
It is.
discussion of sin.
Get in our little time machine, go back to the beginning.
Sin is tough, man.
Yeah.
Because
Because we like it
Yeah.
until it comes time to pay.
And that's the truth. The most difficult part of talking about sin, from like a theology perspective, is a lot of times that it is chronically underestimated.
Yeah.
By everyone.
There's
There's no exceptions to
our
this.
culture as a whole doesn't even talk about sin anymore.
Our culture doesn't believe in sin.
Yeah.
Like-
You might use evil occasionally.
Yep.
Or wrong. But
Yep.
they don't talk about sin.
Well, you're exactly right. There's we don't have a definition for sin anymore.
No.
Evil suffering is part of it too. We got caught up in this debate online recently in the comment section on TikTok on the problem of evil, and a lot of the atheistic naturalists out there, they have some really interesting things that they bring up when they start talking about the problem of evil. And it's actually the problem of suffering and pain that they have a problem with.
Yeah.
And C.S. Lewis explained this really well in his book, The Problem of Pain, showing that pain is not actually a problem, right? Pain is a good. But that is how the problem of evil is set up generally in the naturalistic atheistic worldview, is that is a problem of suffering.
But really, if you push on it, let's just make all the atheists mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem with my suffering.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because they don't have an objective measurement. It's just I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Suffering period is the most extreme of them would shake their fist at God even for animal suffering.
Yeah.
Even for how the universe is set up, the natural order of like animals. So they would say the proof of that God does not exist, stemming down from the problem of evil / suffering,
Yeah.
is that the only way for a tiger to eat is that he has to murder something.
Yeah.
Man,
I watched a hyena eat a wildebeest one time, and I thought, ugh, the problem with suffering's a problem.
Yeah.
They ain't gentle.
Yeah.
A tiger and a cat will kill something pretty quick. Man, them hyenas don't.
Yeah, so they look at it and say, well, that's your proof that God doesn't exist right there, is that wildebeest has to suffer in order for that thing to survive.
Yeah.
So that's the most extreme views. But we know that suffering isn't evil. Suffering is what. I saw this story not too long ago. You know who Tony Dungy is?
Yes.
Football guy, right?
Coach for the Colts.
Yeah, Colts,
Yeah.
long time, right? Really famous. And he has a son who has a very rare disease that he can't feel pain.
Oh, yeah.
He feels no pain. Like, that's his disease. And Tony Dungy says some really interesting things about him. He's been observing him with him for years. He's like 20. He's in his 20s or something.
Yeah.
And been going down that journey for a long time. And he says something along the lines of people talk about how terrible pain is, and he's like, well, I see how much damage can be done without pain. And that's the whole problem with that disease, is how much damage he does to his body. Broken bones, he just runs around with. He has no idea how much damage his body goes through because he does not have pain.
Yeah. I mean, just think about if you have a shoe that don't fit good and it causes a blister.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
You don't know it.
Man, by the time you pull your shoe off, you're in trouble.
And, I mean, infections everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Pain is not evil. Pain, even like you think of like the emotional stuff, emotional turmoil and suffering that goes along with that. It is a pain. A lot of times is like a what are those things called where you're looking for water? You know what I'm talking about?
Witching stick.
Yeah, it's like a witching stick for love. You know, oftentimes, it's a determiner of love, and reveals love.
It tell you what you love.
Yeah. And bless you, man.
I feel so much better.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know how I got on that topic. We're talking about sin today.
Not pain yet.
It will. It's actually will come up later on in the discussion.
Sin and pain are not the same thing.
They're not.
No.
Our culture thinks they are.
They're not.
They don't, because our culture doesn't have a definition for sin. We have great objections to
You might feel
sinfulness.
pain because of sin, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. And you may think that the objections to sin are maybe just like a leftist idea, like a liberal idea. That's not true. No, like it's everywhere. The objections to the reality of sin, because everyone justifies their own sin.
It's
right?
super amazing.
Yeah.
How little we think about sin now. Just from a historical perspective and even cultural perspective.
Yeah.
If you went to overseas place, they would have a very sharp concept, if not of sin, at least of shameful behavior.
Yeah, shameful behavior for sure.
Yeah, we can't even. One of the passages, golly, I need to look this up. When God condemns Israel in the Old Testament, he says that they've forgotten how to blush.
Oh, wow.
They've forgotten how to be ashamed.
Yeah.
Like they're so brazen in their sin, they've got to the point where they've forgotten how to blush.
Yeah.
And so that I always think that's a pretty powerful thought, that if you've got to the point where no behavior whatsoever bothers you, man, you are morally bankrupt.
Yeah. I think a I don't know if it's small or not, but it feels kind of small. Example of this is with American entertainment. Like, what does it take to be a successful television show today for adults in the United States? It takes copious amounts of sin.
Yeah.
Copious.
That means a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. Language, like all the language.
All
right?
of it.
Look at any.
It's not the Andy Griffith Show out there.
No. So all the most popular shows in America are streamed shows, off network, off the major. It's not like going on at 5:00 in the evening and stuff these days. And there's a reason. It's because there are rules about what you can put on cable television on the network and stuff. Yeah. There are not rules for what you can stream on Netflix, Amazon or whatever. And the most popular shows are pretty stinking terrible.
Well, I don't watch them.
Yeah. That's good.
Because I got other stuff to do, man.
But I believe that maybe some of our listeners might watch them.
Oh,
right?
I don't know. I don't even know what's out. And it has nothing to do with my morals.
Oh,
I would just rather read a book or watch or play a game.
Well, you think about like, have you heard of like the show The Boys?
Yes. Is that a superhero show?
Yeah, kind of. They're not heroes, but
super people show?
Yeah, on Amazon.
He murders everybody, right?
It's terrible. I got one episode. I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I watched an episode and it made me want to throw up.
Oh.
It was so terrible.
Wow.
And it's one of the most popular shows on we're saying TV, but yeah, out there right
Game
now.
of Thrones, same way.
Yeah, terrible. Like
Da 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 da.
not only, I mean, you could look at like, it's not just, I guess the one of the things that people like to bicker about is like the sexual content.
Oh.
I mean, that's out there, but take a step back, look at your violence.
I actually think this is going to be a hot take, okay? And then we can talk about sin. But I actually think sexual content has gotten better over the years.
Yeah, really.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s, every single movie had a naked person in it, a naked
really?
woman. Every single one. You'd be watching a comedy, and all of a sudden, they'd be like, "Whoop, there's the naked, gratuitous boob shot, whatever." And it was everywhere.
That's so funny.
I don't. Maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it seemed like that.
I mean, the sexual content's a problem, but the language is a problem. The violence is a problem.
Now, Game of Thrones went over with that.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was softcore porn.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Because I read the books in the 90s,
Yeah.
and I was like, ain't no way I can watch this.
Yeah.
I can read about it. I can't watch it. Ain't no way.
So our culture has a problem with sin, admitting it's real.
I guess it was 2000s. I don't know when the Game of Thrones came out. Anyways.
Let's talk about a definition for sin. What exactly is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? You want the Bible version or what the catechism summary?
Where do you start with the Bible?
Okay. There's a lot of words in the Bible for sin.
Yeah.
Probably the most numerous one is the Hebrew word. I'm not even going to try to say it.
Yeah.
Is it like, what is it again? It starts with
Chet.
Chet. Or cheta.
Just
whatever.
depends on the.
Yeah, it means like a marksman missing a mark.
Yeah.
You've missed the mark, morally speaking.
Yeah.
There are several others that mean like transgression or evil.
Mm-hmm. The first use of the word sin is in the story of Cain and Abel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know that
sin
part?
is crouching at the door.
Yeah. So it's after Cain becomes jealous and he's furious.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord says to him, "Why are you furious? Why do you look despondent? Why is your face fallen?
Yeah.
If you do what is right, won't you be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at the door." Yeah, sin is crouching at the door.
Yeah.
And this is the cheta, one right here. And that's an interesting thing to say.
Yeah.
Like it's like an animal.
Yeah, it's like an animal that's going to eat you.
Yeah, it's like crouching. It's waiting to pounce and
on
attack. You know. Yeah, I think
I also love it that he says that his countenance has fallen.
Yeah.
You can see in someone's face where they're at.
Yeah.
In life right now.
Yeah. Seeing if there's another early one. Yeah. To lawlessness.
You would think, by the way, the first use of sin would be in the fall, but it's not.
No, I know that's very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's scroll back. We'll scroll back a little bit. And what's funny is your Bible probably has in chapter 3, verse 8, probably has a title that says like something like sin's consequences.
Yeah.
And that's what the CSB goes with. And sin's not used there.
Sin's not used there. It's not about sin.
It
is, but it ain't.
Is this curse?
Yeah. Well, it's about curse.
But
the fall is about a failed wisdom journey.
It's failure.
It's into foolishness.
It is failure in foolishness. And it's also the word that uses to talk about is like, because you've done this, there's curse, right? Here's curse, which is another way the Bible talks about sin is. So you have missing the mark, which is a kind of failure. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have, you have transgression, which is like law breaking, and that is especially more prominent once the Mosaic law comes around. Right, here is the law. Here's what's expected of you, and then if you don't do, you're a law.
That's
breaker.
where the Catechism goes with it.
Yeah,
in the Westminster
right?
Catechism,
Okay.
It's like verse 14 or something.
Okay,
verse 14. It's like Catechism question 14.
Okay,
and it's what is sin?
Yeah, what is sin?
And it's like sin is any transgression of the law of God.
The law, it's lawlessness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it 1 John that says that sin is lawlessness, right?
Yeah.
Is the verse, right? Yeah, so you have lawlessness, that God has a law. He has a way things are supposed to be, and sin is to...
And he's always had a law,
Yeah.
even before the Mosaic
That's
law.
right, yeah.
Yep.
And sin is to break that law. Romans makes a case about that. The book of Romans, the first part of the book of Romans is Paul describing how all humans are contributing to sin. They've all sinned, and even the ones that you think would have the best shot at not sinning, they still sin. Both the ignorant, the people who don't know
Yes.
what the law is, they are sinners because they sin against their own conscience.
Yes.
The people who do know what the law is are sinners because they are hypocrites. They do what they know they ought not to do.
Yes. He says that the Gentiles who did not have the law are a law unto themselves.
Yep.
What he means is, it doesn't matter where you go in the world, people have an understanding of morality and of
Yeah.
law and of things you shouldn't do.
That's right. Every person...
And it
has-
doesn't matter what that law is.
Yeah.
They will transgress it.
Yeah. Every person has said to themselves, I think that this is wrong.
And then
something
they do
is,
it.
and then they do it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't like how, they got beat up or something, or they don't like, and I think it's wrong. They got lied to. I think it's wrong. And they say this is wrong in their heart, and they will do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so they've all broken their own conscience. They've all sinned against themselves, their own law. And so everyone is a sinner. They're all lawbreakers. Another way the Bible talks about sin is rebellion. All right, I like that one too. That's a helpful rebellion. Romans 5 is a good example of that. I was sitting there typing in Romans 5.
While you're doing this, we tend to think of good and bad, sin and not sin in things that we do.
Yeah.
That is not how God is. When we say God is good, it's not just because of what he does. It's who he is in his being.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness flows from his essence. It's not that God is just choosing to do good. He is good.
Yeah, there's an important debate about why righteousness is righteous.
Yeah.
So like, why is truth telling good and lies bad? Is it because God is beholden to a moral law, and he does what is good, or is it because truth? He decides that truth telling is good, therefore it is good.
Yeah. It's because he is the essence of truth. It's not because he decides something.
That's right.
Yeah. There's a difference because, people will say, what if God decides that this is good now and not bad?
Yeah, murder is good now.
Murder is good now. He can't do that.
He can't do that. Right?
No, because his essence is not murder.
Yeah.
He doesn't murder because he's not a murderer in his being.
And again,
he can't murder anyway.
That's not actually a theological issue. That's a definition fallacy.
Yeah.
And so to presume that God would change his mind about murder or lies or something like that, and that it's like a subjective thing, that's not actually a theological issue. It contradicts his definition as God.
The point of God giving the law is not like he's an architect setting up a world and he's like, these are the rules I'm going to govern it by that have nothing to do with my nature. It's just how I want to build this thing.
Yeah.
The law of God is given to us to teach us about the nature of God.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it's for.
It reflects his character.
It reflects his character and his being.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
And so when you sin, you are sinning against the nature of God.
Yeah. You're contradictory.
You're being ungodly.
Yeah.
That's another way to talk about
that's right.
sin.
You're contradictory towards God.
And what is good.
Yeah, and you were made in his image.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that imprinted on you. You know these things. And so that's this is why all this stuff is vastly important before we end up getting to talk about Jesus and Christ, because one of the foundational claims about Christ is that he's sinless and he actually images God perfectly, right? And so, I was saying
that's why it says he's the exact imprint of his nature.
Yeah. the rebellion, like
Yeah.
sin is rebellion. Romans 5:10. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of His Son, then how much more having been reconciled, right? So I like that one. And helplessness is also part of that one too. So we have missing the mark, failure. You have transgression, law breaking. You have rebellion, willful antagonism against God.
Yeah.
One of my favorite definitions of sin is from Cornelius Plantinga. You know who he is?
Cornelius Plantinga?
Yeah.
I know Alvin.
I think they're brothers.
No way.
I think so. Let me look this up. Or Alvin.
Anyways, they're famous philosophers.
Yeah, and
Alvin Plantinga has made a bunch of atheists reconsider.
Yes. Plantinga.
The two boys from the same family? That smart?
Yeah, they're brothers. Yep.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Boy,
Philosopher
Christmas.
Alvin Plantinga. Yeah,
Christmas must be wild at their house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, am I reading that right?
I don't know.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I was reading like the Google AI thing. It sums it up for you. I was like, wait, maybe not. Yeah, here's Cornelius Plantinga. Plantinga is an ordained minister in the Christian Reformed Church and the brother of Alvin. Yeah, they are brothers.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nuts, man.
So Cornelius Plantinga, he wrote a book called Not the Way It's Supposed to Be.
Yeah.
So good. Such a great book on sin. It's the best one out there that I've come across on the doctrine of sin. And he says that sin is, he's putting all the things together. It's the culpable breaking of shalom.
Oh,
I like that.
Culpable of shalom.
Yeah.
Of peace.
Shalom is peace. And the culpable breaking of it is what sin is. And the way he puts it kind of sums up all these things together really nicely. And the idea is that the law is about peace, because peace is part of who God is. Everything is at peace in God. And the culpability is that act of rebellion. The failure, missing the mark, is also right. So this brings in sins of commission and sins of omission. Explain that, Brad. What's that mean?
So a sin of commission is when it's like you shouldn't lie, and you're like, I'm going to lie about this.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I'm going
to do it.
A sin of omission is I see this guy needs help.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So you should have done something. When you had a duty to do something and you failed to perform it, that would be omission.
Yeah.
If you know you're not supposed to do something and you do it anyway, that's a sin of commission.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And both of them break the peace.
Both of them break the peace.
Yeah, they destroy peace. And that's what sin is it's destructive. Sin destroys everything. It destroys you. It destroys your neighbors. Destroys your relationship with God. And that's why
it is crazy how destructive sin is.
Yeah.
It will not. A lot of people think of sin as a spiritual thing, and it is. It's a spiritual thing. It will wreck your body.
Oh yeah, it will.
It wrecks the whole being.
It wrecks you. Yeah.
It wrecks you.
That's why in Romans 8, Paul describes that he's talking about the effects of sin in the world, and he said the whole earth is groaning, waiting for the sons of God to be revealed.
Yes.
Put this to death. The beginning of Romans 8 is about putting sin to death. It affects everything. It destroys the world.
Yeah.
That's not inflammatory. That's not hyperbolic. In fact, usually when we talk about the effects of sin, we underestimate it. Vastly. We have a whole category of sin that we describe as small.
Yeah.
These are like minute sins. A white lie.
Yeah.
As if breaking trustworthiness.
Yeah. Is
a small thing, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure lying is always a sin, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, well, we would be talking about. I'm talking about sinful lies.
Yeah, sinful lies.
Yeah, sinful lies. Right.
Yeah.
When you owe someone the truth.
Yeah, that dress looks good on you.
Yeah,
that shirt looks
so
good.
Yeah, we can talk about that real quick. Yeah, there are lies that are not actually sinful. Lying is not the sin in the scriptures. Bearing false witness. And there are people that you owe the truth to, and there are people that you don't owe the truth to.
Well, we can talk about this, but the hierarchy of law. If you lie to preserve life, it might be wrong to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So, like the example in the Bible would be when Rahab hides the spies.
Yeah.
And they say, "Are the spies here?" And she says, "No."
Yeah.
Because she knows they'll kill them.
Yeah.
She's like, "No, they were here, but they left."
Yeah.
And so somebody be like, "Oh, you sinful liar."
To who do you
No.
own the truth?
Yeah,
Owe
yeah.
the truth to?
Yeah.
You owe the truth to God
To God.
and to those who are His.
Yeah, we're not trying to justify lying up in here.
Yeah.
We're just trying to say
But in that situation, she
you
doesn't
know,
owe the enemies
this
of
was
God
a big
the truth.
deal.
Yeah.
You know, if you read Corey ten Boom's little book about the Holocaust and them hiding Jewish people,
Yeah.
there was a debate in their family. If the Germans come in your house and you have Jews in there,
Yep.
and they say, "Are the Jews here?" Do you say no and lie and transgress the law of God, or do you say, "Yeah, we were hiding them in the wall over here"?
No, you pull a Rahab.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
pull the way out. That's what Corey
Yeah.
ten Boom decided. Her
That-
sister
absolutely.
decided no.
Yeah.
In fact,
And she was wrong. Yeah.
Well, the Germans came in the house
Yeah.
and said, "Do
Oh,
you have
yeah.
Jews here?"
Yeah.
And they had a trap door underneath
Yeah,
the kitchen
yeah.
table. She goes, "Oh yeah, we've got a whole pile of them right under the kitchen table." And the Germans got mad at them and yelled at them and left. And literally, there were a pile of there was a
Yeah,
whole
yeah, I've
family
heard
of
that
Jewish
story,
people
yeah.
hiding under the kitchen table.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So no, not all lies are sinful, but that's beside the point. That was a rabbit trail.
Well, it's important, I think, because sin is the goal in not sinning is not just black and white law breaking. In the end of the day, the very first fall was not about law breaking in the sense of it was a failed quest to be wise, and sometimes doing the right thing requires wisdom, and not sinning requires wisdom, not just. What rule do I need to follow? Like the kid that's got his first girlfriend. He's like, "How far is too far, brother Justin? Can I kiss? And what can I touch and not touch?" And it's like, my Lord.
Can you sin out of ignorance?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's still sin.
It's still sin.
It's still sin.
People going to get upset about that.
That's what's broken.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what we're talking about. That's why it's underestimated. You don't even know all of your sin.
No.
You do not know it.
Yeah, there's a weird book out there about this. I can't believe this popped in my brain.
Okay.
Did you ever read I Am Legend?
I didn't read it. I saw
It's
the
a
movie.
totally different
Yeah.
than the movie.
Yeah, okay.
So the ending, they changed the ending because
Okay.
the audience wouldn't like. Anyways, I Am Legend. There's this terrible outbreak, this virus, whatever, and everybody turns into vampires. And this one guy is he's immune to it.
Will Smith.
Yeah, and he's researching it to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
kidnapping these quote unquote vampire zombies. He's doing these experiments on them. He's trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the book, spoiler, he finds out they're sentient, and that he's the bad guy. He is the boogeyman,
Oh,
and they
wow.
capture him.
Wow.
And before they execute him, he realizes, "I am legend. I am the thing that goes bump in the night." Because they can't come out in the daylight because of the nature of their disease, and he sneaks in the day and pulls them out into the sunlight and does all these terrible experiments on them. He is the vampire. It's
That's
just
wild.
flipped.
Yeah.
The ending, before he dies, he goes, "I am the mythical, legendary vampire beast. I am the bad guy." And the whole time he thought he was the good guy.
That's so wild.
Yeah, so that you can't sin in ignorance. He realizes that he did all these things.
Yeah, you can totally sin in ignorance.
Yeah.
And it still counts as
You
sin.
think of, okay, here's a little
Yeah.
more personal thing.
Uh-huh.
You grow up in a racist culture,
Yeah.
and you're taught that this other race or whatever is lesser, or you go back to the transatlantic slave trade, and you're taught that this particular race has no soul, or they're not full people, and you believe it. You're taught it. Does that mean that what you do is you're not culpable for it when you realize the truth?
Yeah.
No, you were sinning the whole time,
the
buddy.
whole time.
The whole time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you were the vampire.
Yep. And you'll be judged on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, there's going to be a lot of reveals. It's going to be exciting in the day of judgment. I'm terrified.
yeah. So that's why we say that sin is chronically underestimated.
Underestimated.
Like your own sin is
Your sin, cultural sins, ignorance. You are a person, at the very least, bent toward sin in a sinful world that makes sinning easy.
Yep. There are what's some of we have pet sin.
This place is on fire.
Yeah, and we have pet sins, right?
Yeah.
So like there are things that are sinful that people think are funny, and like gossip.
Oh.
Spill the tea. Tell me all the things. And they're like recreational, right? It's recreational.
Drunkenness.
Yeah, that's right. Recreational sin. Man, I don't know. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Like what the porn industry is like flipping
Oh, my
crazy.
goodness.
Billions of views. It's like visited more than Amazon.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
I've looked
like
up the stats.
It's like a, I don't know. It's probably true.
Oh, and it's killing your body.
Yeah, and it will too. Yeah.
It will kill your brain. It will kill your body. It will kill your testosterone. It will kill everything.
Yeah. So
Two things that will kill you in the bedroom is looking at pornography and high blood pressure. One of those is sin, and
one of those
not.
is problem.
Yeah.
The high blood pressure might be simple too, though. You might be too fat.
It could be.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's genetic.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Like sometimes some things are sin, some things ain't.
Yeah, that's right. So the culpable breaking of shalom.
Yeah.
Right. You've all done it. You've participated in it. You're
Any
doing it right
transgression
now,
of the
and you
law
don't-
of God.
and you
Yeah.
don't even know it. You're
Yeah.
doing it. You're deeply ignorant of most of your sin, probably.
Oh yeah. Your anger issues.
Yeah.
How you're
Your
making
pride.
How you're making traffic bad on 431.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
your sins because you refuse to.
Have you ever seen the show A Good Place? The Good Place.
Oh, I know, but I know how it ends up.
Okay, it's really interesting. It's
Do you know how it ends up?
yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've watched the show, and it's one of my favorite parts of it. Though is fun. Is the very beginning, and me and Steph have watched it I think twice now. And the very beginning, the idea is that when they die, there's this like good place and bad place thing, right? And so it's kind of a spoof on default, I don't know, moral Christianity kind of thing. It's not Christian, right? And they have the judgment is this screen basically that shows their good versus bad, like the full on scale system, right?
Yeah.
And as all the bad things like in described in like the worst things, and it's stuff like rolling through a traffic like a stop sign is like -5.
Yeah.
But like eating a tuna sandwich on an airplane is like -200.
Whoa.
Bad.
I didn't know that was even bad.
Right.
See, yeah, Sandon
But it's
didn't
fun.
know it.
It's kind of there's like funny
Yeah.
stuff on it like that.
Why is that bad?
Because it's smelly on an airplane.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so stinky. Or like having your shoes off on an airplane was like really bad. That's like -1,000.
You're
Yeah.
going right to the bad
Yeah,
place.
so like every time it pops up, we like pause it and we go and we get up close to the TV and read them. It's really funny. But so there's sin, and we're like we greatly underestimate it all the time. We have sins of commission, sins of omission that we're perpetrating constantly. I have a question that we're going to talk about now, and it goes back to the garden that we mentioned a minute ago. And the question is basically this: to set up our next part of our discussion, is what exactly happened in the garden to cause all of this?
What happened?
What happened?
What happened? Well, what happened was
There's lots of things. There's lots of elements, lots of layers to this, like a parfait, or an onion.
Yeah.
Shrek reference. There's lots of elements to this. First thing you could look at in the garden is what is this? What is the snake doing there tempting?
He's a jerk.
What? Why? Like where?
He
What
mad?
about? What?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
Then.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know.
Why is this? Why is a snake in the garden tempting Adam and Eve to sin? Period.
Yeah. Well, because he wanted to.
There are different
using
answers
his
for
free
this,
will.
right?
Yeah.
There are different answers for
He
this.
I think he fell. There was a fall. There was a fall before the
A
fall.
snake fell.
Snake fell. He's not a snake. He's the Satan.
Oh,
he was a snake.
so let's look at different views here. So one of the ideas
he was talking.
is that there has been already before this moment a satanic rebellion,
Yes.
right? And so the snake in the garden represents Satan. He is Satan. Maybe he's like became a snake to talk to him or something. I don't know.
We get the spoiler finally in Revelation.
Yeah.
That old serpent, the devil. It says.
And
yeah.
so there has already been a satanic rebellion.
Yeah.
So that's a view,
Yeah.
right? And so from the beginning of human history, Satan has been rebelling against God, and the number one evidence of his rebellion is temptation.
Yeah.
That he is tempting humans to follow his path.
And he does it through
rebellion.
lies. He is a liar.
He's a lie. He does it through lies, right? So that's an option.
That's
right?
really like the thing he does.
He accuses.
He accuses and he lies.
He does lie, though.
Yeah.
But there are other ways people talk about Satan in Genesis. One is that he is an agent of testing for God, right? And
That's his job.
That's his job. And so Satan, the snake, is doing its job,
Yeah.
right? And so the presence of a test there isn't necessarily evil to see if they would do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. I think
Right.
he was being evil.
You think
But-
he was?
Oh, yeah.
So you think he's already rebelled?
Yes.
You just so you know, you're on record like saying that he didn't rebel till much later, like a couple weeks
Oh no, and I
months
did.
ago.
I said maybe. No, I think you rebelled from the
You
jump.
think he's already
Oh
rebelled?
yeah. Well, from Revelation, you can't. Oh, like. Here's the thing: we
Yeah.
got a bunch of theology after Genesis.
So
right?
if you go back to our end time series, you talk about him rebelling at a much later time.
No, I don't know for sure. I know he's doing some weird stuff in Job too.
Yeah.
But he gets to go and assemble with the sons of God.
I know
And
it.
that's so weird.
That's why you end up landing
yeah.
on the other side.
It just depends on the day.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes, but I'm leaning towards no.
There you go. Yeah. We don't really know.
I stole that from Mel Brooks.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going on with Satan here. The Old Testament, Satan he's not good news, but he's not described as the enemy of God.
Well, he says he lies in the garden. He's like, "Hey, y'all need to eat this fruit." And then like, God told us not to. He said, "Oh, but that's because God knows if you eat it, you'll become like Him.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna know good and evil."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, this is delicious."
Well, was that a lie? They
Kinda.
do, but they come to know evil.
They come to know evil,
They come to know evil,
but they don't know
right?
it like God does.
Yeah, that's right. They come, and it's like the same use of know that, like, is used as a euphemism for sex in the Bible. You know evil. You've like married evil. You've like
You know it. You've had a dalliance.
yeah, you've dallied in it, right? So one of the views of Satan is that he rebelled before the fall of humans and was part of it, responsible for it even, right? Carries some responsibility for the sinful fall of humans.
Well, he seems to definitely have that because he gets cursed right after it.
Yeah. Something. Yeah.
He says you're gonna be cursed, and
Yeah.
that's Jesus gonna stomp your head.
Yeah. Another view of Satan is that he is just doing his job, but it's his job though to eventually to fall in a sense, not necessarily his job, but it is definitely his
He
destiny.
definitely fell, and he's going into hell.
Yeah, because and the reason they land there is because the Old Testament doesn't portray Satan as the enemy of God. You
It
get the New
doesn't.
Testament,
It actually doesn't portray him much at all.
there's 3 references to Satan.
Yeah,
in the
he's
entire
not
Old
in there a
Testament.
lot.
Yeah.
He's definitely a side character that takes up a big space.
Yeah, and well, I don't know, big space. You think
As far as theology goes, yeah.
theology,
I mean, he made the most of his scenes. He's like that extra
Yeah.
character or something, like
but
Brad
not in
Pitt
the
in
Old
True
Testament.
Romance.
In the Old Testament, he has very little impact on theology.
No.
In the Old Testament,
Yeah. He has a lot of impact on
Like
theology, but he doesn't have many scenes. Like, well, they were talking about the moments that he's in there. I mean, you look at the Hebrew folks and how much they obsessed with angels and Satan and Satanology. He definitely had an impact on their theology.
they obsess about angels.
Yeah.
They do not obsess about Satan.
I think so. But they
Have
even
you read
in
much?
Jesus' days, they're like, oh, he's a what they call him? Oh my goodness! But Beelzebub,
Yeah, Yeah.
they're obsessed with demons
yeah.
and Beelzebub.
They're obsessed with demons. That's for sure.
yeah,
Beelzebub was like a demon.
yeah.
to them.
Well, it was like the accuser too. They had different names
Yeah, I
for
know
him.
it. It's a mess.
It is. It's weird. But
I think there's a crew
but,
around
but
that time.
in defense
yeah,
for the Jewish theologians, the Christians went nuts on this too.
yeah, well,
To this day, we're supposed to be talking about sin.
Yeah, the Jewish theologians pretty much maintain that Satan is basically a neutral character and not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's their, but they also reject all those extra biblical sources, though, right? That they don't like them,
like Lilith and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they
Some
reject
weird
it.
stuff
Yeah,
out
they
there.
reject all that. Enoch
Some do.
and everything, they reject all that
Yeah.
stuff, and they say they think of it like fan fiction.
Even though they wrote it.
Yeah. Well, people, yeah, they were Jewish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if
Well,
they did.
it's kind of like Brad Pitt in True Romance. He has like 2 scenes in there,
Uh-huh.
and
never
it's
seen
like
it.
nothing. And but it's hilarious. It's like the thing that it's. Anyways,
Okay.
that's how Satan, he shows up and it's like, who's this guy?
Yeah. But what's funky though, you get with Satan in the in Revelation, and it describes his fall in temporally as post Jesus.
Yeah.
Because when he falls from heaven, there are people there who are talking about the Lamb. Right? There's
Yeah.
like this poem that goes along with it. And that's what
You're talking about when he also evolves from a snake to a dragon.
the fall from Satan, the fall of Satan in Revelation 12. Yeah, it seems to coincide in some way with what happens with Jesus on the cross in the land.
He sweeps a third of the stars from the sky
Yeah.
with his tail. But anyway, sin.
Yeah. Is Satan culpable?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
He's
He's at least
culpable.
a tempter.
Yeah, he's going to hell. God don't send people that are obedient and just there.
Yeah.
And he gets cursed in the garden.
Well, he's guilty of sin.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He is dead.
Oh, you mean is he culpable of our sin?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Is Satan
my bad. I was like,
responsible?
yeah, he's
no,
sin.
no, no. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, is Satan responsible for human sin?
Oh, no.
Is this all Satan's fault?
No.
Right. That has to be the
yes
answer.
and no.
He's part of it.
If you goad someone into doing something evil, you have a responsibility. If you drive someone to rob a bank, if you don't get out and rob it, you get the same sentence.
Yeah.
So
In Alabama, that's true.
Yeah, well, it's true everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're an accessory, accessory to a crime,
okay.
you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Right. So he's definitely an accessory
Yeah.
to the crime.
I'm not sure it's
But-
true everywhere.
But you can't say at the end of the day, the devil made me do it. Because you
Yeah.
had a decision. It's sort of like the old German Nazi excuse, like I was just following orders. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
You might have had a lot of pressure, and people might sympathize in some ways with some things that you do because of, I grew up in an abusive home. I grew up in this bad place.
Yeah.
These terrible things happen.
Hurt people hurt
It's
people.
it's my it's not my fault. It's like, well, some things are not your fault, but you decided to do it, and
Yeah.
that's your fault. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like if you're speeding down 431 and you're going 65 and a 45 and you get pulled over, you can't say, I didn't know it wasn't 65 here.
Yeah. Well, here's
Ignorance
case in point is when you get to the New Testament and they're talking about sin all the time in the effects of sin in the world. You look at like Romans 5, right? Talks about, we'll read it here in a minute when we talk about original sin. You know who's not mentioned?
The devil.
Satan.
Yeah.
Adam sinned.
Adam did
Not
sin.
we're not cursed because of Satan's sin. You're cursed because of Adam's sin,
Right.
and your own.
Yeah.
Right. And so Satan bears responsibility as a tempter. However, there's another word for temptation. It's called testing.
Yeah.
And our use of the two, like if I'm going to call it temptation or test, just comes down to a translation choice of like context. Testing is not evil. Testing is not bad because you could come through the test showing, fidelity.
Abraham did.
Yeah, it's very possible to do that. And so a test in itself is not wrong. The test of Adam and Eve to see if they would do what they're supposed to do is not bad in and of itself.
No. Abraham being told to carry Isaac up on the mountain and sacrifice him is a test.
Yep.
And there are lots of them, and you've been through some.
Yeah.
You've failed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Maybe all of them. I don't know.
So Satan's rebellion is part of it. That Satan is there in the garden doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really know, but we do know he's tempting.
Yeah.
And we know that if there is any angelic, I don't know if I should say angelic, spiritual temptation happening in your life, the Bible attributes that to Satan. Like Satan is the tempter.
He's trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Just like when it says that sin is crouching at the door. Peter picks up on this language.
He does,
talks
yeah.
about Satan going about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. It's from that a description with sin with Cain.
Yep.
And so, but he does it through lies, and he does it through manipulation, And he seeds these lies throughout cultures and brains so that people will do evil and not good.
Yeah.
The only reason people are starving to death in the world today is because of sin.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
man.
right.
We
That's
got
true.
plenty of food.
Yeah. All the problems in our world
Are
are
'cause of sin.
due to sin. Every one of them.
Yeah. Except for tsunamis. Those are just weird. People die, but even dying is part of the curse. Anywho,
Why do people die in tsunamis?
because we've sinned.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
So that's part of the Not the Way It's Supposed to Be, Cornelius Plenty. You should go read it. He talks about natural disasters and why we think of them as why we have like layered evil onto those things. Yeah. Well, and there's lots of things you could talk about that. Like why can't your homes withstand the natural disaster?
Yeah.
Why are they not all tornado proof?
Yeah.
Could they be? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Your homes could be windproof and tornado proof. Like that is not beyond human engineering.
No.
Right?
You could live in hobbit holes.
Yeah, you could. There are lots of ways to, but because we have a cost benefit analysis to keep up with, right?
Yeah.
We have to make our buck. Everyone's got to make our buck, and the roots of those things are generally sin. Greed.
Yeah. Anytime your end goal is money, probably gonna get into some sin.
Yep. It's totally involved.
So how does sin affect you when you're born?
Well, but let's start one thing before that.
Okay, what?
Why is there sin? Period.
Why is there sin? Period?
Yeah, that's a big question. So one of the first questions when people have become familiar with the Bible and the story of the scriptures, especially in Genesis, is it goes something like this: if God knew that Adam and Eve were going to sin from the beginning, why did He do anything? Why did He set it up like this? Did God know that they were going to sin?
We should talk about Alvin Plantinga now.
Yeah.
It's the introduction of the freedom of the will to do either what is right or what is wrong.
So the way this is talked about in theology is talking about God's decrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you got to go to. It's called a Lapsarian debate.
Yes.
The debate about the Lapsarian views. And the words.
People
remember the words are dumb, but they're the
lapse meaning like you have a lapse of like conscience or a lapse. It comes from it. When did this happen?
Yeah, that's right. So
LAPSE.
When did God decree that humanity would be tempted? When did He decree that they would sin? Did He decree?
When did He decide?
When did He decide?
Okay, we'll talk about the easy ones first.
All right,
like Lutheranism and all them, they don't deal with this. They're like, it all happened simultaneously in eternity past, and any attempt at making a logical progression of this is stupid.
And that it's fair, honestly.
Yeah.
It is fair. It's also fair to. It's like this is really like a exercise.
Yeah.
In theology of like, and because your answer will determine other things.
Yeah.
And so the Arminian order, there's a
infralapsarian.
No, it's not infra.
Oh yeah.
It's a little different. God's decree to create the world, He is number one. So He creates the world. Then God's foreknowledge of the fall is a second decree. He foreknows the fall.
Yeah.
And then God's decree, He decrees to send His Son as Savior for those who repent, believe, and persevere. And then fourth is God's decree to provide means to enable repentance and faith. Then God's foreknowledge of which individuals will repent and believe. And then lastly, God's decree to save those who believe. Do good works.
What do they call that one if it's not
It's
infra?
just the Arminian. The infra is a little different. But we'll get to that in just a second.
It's infra adjacent.
It's adjacent. But basically, He creates, then He foreknows the fall, just the fall, that there would be a fall.
This is before he's decreeing creation. He hadn't done anything.
That's right.
yet.
Yeah. He's like, this is God's order of operation
Like
here.
when he's thinking about building this place.
Yeah.
What's he going to do first?
He's like, first I'm going to create it, and then they're going to fall, and then I'm going to decide to send Jesus
Yeah.
for
Son of
those
God.
who repent, believe, and persevere. And then He is going to provide the means to enable them to be saved by the Son. And then he's going to foreknow, he's going to be able to see into the future which individuals will repent and believe. And then, lastly, he's going to save those who he sees will believe and persevere, and condemn those who he sees will not.
Yeah, what denominations believe that?
It's Arminian, so it'd be Wesleyan, Methodist.
Catholic?
I don't know. I don't know where Catholic fits on that stuff.
I don't know.
There will be some
Anglicans.
There will be some, but there are a lot of Reformed Anglicans too.
Yeah. Well, you can do what you want if you're an Anglican.
There's some Pentecostals will, some Baptists will.
Lots of Baptists.
Yeah. There's another one, the Emeraldian order. This is what we are. We're Emeraldian. The first is God's decree to create the world and all men. Mm-hmm. All right. He decrees to create all the world and all humans. And then second is God's decree that all men would fall. Third is God's decree to redeem all men by the cross work of Christ. And fourth, God's election of some fallen men to salvation and the reprobation of others. And then fifth is God's decree to apply Christ's redemptive benefits to the elect. And so why is that important, Brad?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if Catholics are Armenian over here.
Oh, you're looking
Sorry
that
about
up?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, no.
No.
They always want to just say, we're just Catholic.
We're just Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about the Emeraldian view.
So the Emeraldian view is the most important thing, I guess, is that God elects after the provision for sin.
Yeah.
So he would say, I am going to send my son to die for the entire world. And knowing that no one will believe without God's electing grace, after he provides the justification for the world, he elects people to believe and to put their faith in that provision. You say, well, that seems logical. Well, it is. Moise is emerald. But the supralapsarian view and the sublapsarian, I think it's called, of the Calvinists is actually the first decree is God's, in supralapsarian is God's decree of the elect and reprobate is the first thing he decides.
His first decree,
yes,
before even creation, is
who's going to go to heaven and who's going to go to hell.
Yeah. And
before provision's made or anything.
Yeah.
And then he decides how he's going to do it.
Yeah. So that's the first decree. The second decree is to create the world.
Yeah.
The third is to permit the fall of mankind.
Yeah.
And then the fourth is to send his son and spirit to save the elect. I think it's ridiculous.
That's called high Calvinism.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I
I
think
wonder if that's what Sproul was.
I don't know. Probably. He was pretty traditional.
Yeah.
The infralapsarianism is God's decree. First decree is to create the world for his glory. Second is to decree to permit the fall. What is original sin, Brad?
It's contrast is with original sin will make you extra crispy. like Kentucky Fried Chicken, you got original and extra crispy.
Yeah.
Original sin.
Yeah, what's original sin?
Original sin. Oh, well, it depends. There's two things that people might talk about. So original sin being the first sin that was ever made, the original one that was the fall in the garden where Adam and Eve fell. The other way they talk about original sin is how it affects the progeny of Adam and Eve, like what is passed on from generation to generation because of that fall, the original sin. Right? Is that what you're asking?
So like the idea that I am still guilty. I am guilty of Adam's sin.
Well.
That sin guilt has been passed onward.
Something has been passed onward.
Yep.
There's disagreements on to what degree. So when you say guilty, some, maybe even a lot of denominations or Christians would say you are not guilty of Adam's sin, but you have inherited consequences from that sin.
They talk about a fallen nature.
A fallen nature.
Yeah, you've inherited a fallen nature
or
from
a
Adam.
fallen world. So I think So Roman Catholicism would not say you are guilty of Adam's sin,
That's right.
but that you are born. I don't, man, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to but you're born with you're going to sin, a propensity to sin.
Yeah.
You have inherited that. And that's what baptism washes away, is that propensity, or infuses grace into your soul so that you don't have to live that way. The Orthodox Church would say you're born, there's two consequences, okay? So one is the world is changed. And you're born into a corrupt world, and they frame it in you are born with a sickness.
Yeah.
They like to talk about Jesus as the great healer, the great physician, which is good.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
He says he's that. So they'll say you're born sin sick. You're not guilty. You're sick, and you're going to do unhealthy things, which is the self-destructiveness of sin. You're born with that. Calvinism would say you're born totally depraved and guilty of Adam's
Guilty
sin.
and corrupt.
Guilty and corrupt.
Yeah.
As if you had done it your own self.
Yeah.
So that's what people talk about with original sin. So which one of those is right, Justin?
Well, and there is one other too. The semi-Pelagian version too, which is that you're human. It's like the world is bad, but humans are truly good, and because we live in a corrupt world, we're all enticed. Is kind of the non-total depravity.
I don't know if a semi-Pelagian would say you were good though. A Pelagian.
Would. I guess I meant Pelagian.
Yeah.
What would a semi-Pelagian say?
A semi-Pelagian is like, oh man, I'd have to look it up to be sure.
Okay.
A Pelagian is somebody who retains enough goodness of will to be able to decide on their own to do good. In other words, if God commands something, you must be able to fulfill it. So if Jesus says, be therefore perfect, even as your heavenly Father is perfect, then you can be perfect.
Yeah.
But you can keep God's moral law. You just don't. That's heresy, Patrick.
Yeah.
Semi-Pelagian is the Spirit of God maybe can bring you to a place where you can make a good decision.
What's that called? Prevenient grace?
Prevenient grace. I'm not sure that's the same as semi-Pelagian.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, I can't remember if semi-Pelagianism is a heresy or what. Anyway.
Semi-Pelagianism is a problem when it comes to other areas, definitely. So when it comes to original sin, what we're really asking is like, what exactly does all of humanity inherit from Adam, from what happened in the garden? What is the default state of a human now in a sinful world? And the views essentially kind of waffle around whether it's the world that is corrupted and therefore human sin, or all humans are corrupted, therefore human sin. And it's kind of like a nature versus nurture situation is what the views kind of hover around, that idea. The Reformed views are that it would say both.
Why not both?
Why not both? The Eastern Orthodox would lean more towards the world is corrupted, right?
Yeah, they would say you're corrupted too, but they would say that, but you're not guilty.
But you're sick. Yeah.
You're sick.
Yeah.
You don't blame a sick child for crying.
Yeah.
So you are sick and you make bad decisions because of your sickness, your blindness, your sinful handicap.
And at the heart of it is that Romans 5 passage that I read earlier.
Yeah.
This is like the passage that people are trying to reconcile the view with. I read a little bit of earlier. We'll look at it again here. Just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin. So we know sin entered the world through Adam, right?
Yeah.
In this way, death spread to all people because all sinned, right? And that's an important, or all have sinned. And so it's Paul seems to be kind of bringing in all humanity as well as Adam's sin. It says because all sinned, right? In fact, sin was in the world before the law, and we talk about the law. So nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over those who did not sin in the likeness of Adam's transgression. He is a type of the coming one. So it seems like the people are sinning because of the world, it seems like. So they're not sinning in the likeness of Adam. It's not like they're doing the same thing Adam did.
They didn't eat a fruit.
They're sinning because they live in the world, right? From Adam to Moses. And so that's what people are trying to get. They're also trying to figure out what to do with some of the passages that talk about transmitted guilt in the Bible. So you have part of the Ten Commandments, right? In Exodus 20, that says, in verse 5, do not bow and worship to them, do not serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, bringing the consequences of the father's iniquity on the children to the third and the fourth, the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing faithful love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. So, I mean, is this talking about transmitted guilt to children?
Well, I'd say no, because there's other passages where it says that the fathers will not be held guilty for the sin of their sons and vice versa, or the sons will not be held guilty for the sin of their fathers. Everyone will die according to their own sin. Yeah. So we don't believe that children pay for the sin of their fathers. But then you have to deal with this passage right here where it says, so how I've heard this.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 18:20 says, the soul who sins is the one who will die. The son will not share the guilt of the father, nor will the father share the guilt of the son. And that's kind of helping people understand the difference of what he's talking about in Exodus 20, right?
So Exodus 20, it seems to be, well, you can see if you agree with this or not or what, but it's often couched in the terms of the consequences of your sin are transferred to the following generations. In other words, if you, an example might be if you are an angry person who yells at your children and abuses them, the odds of that child carrying forward that kind of sin is extremely high. So you're passing on these, people call it generational sins or whatever. You keep passing this stuff on to your kids. Not necessarily that God is punishing this child because you were wicked for your sin, but rather that you're transferring these things throughout generations by perpetuating this. But one person can break the cycle for 1,000 generations kind of deal.
Yeah, you got to look at the language used. Like you have the Ezekiel passage that says, a son is not guilty for the sins of a father. And if you're not a careful reader of the Bible, you'll get to Exodus 20 and be like, this is a contradiction. It's not. It says, he's talking about bowing to worship idols. And the Lord your God, it says, I'm a jealous God, bringing the consequences of the father's iniquity on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. So there's two parts of that. Number one, it's the consequences of the father's iniquity. And so like he has his own consequences for bowing to worship idols that he's having to deal with. And that those consequences are going to persist, right? God's not going to, he's not going to like pull that grandchild out of the family. And here's another thing to think about. In the ancient world, who are the third and fourth generations? I mean, it's completely realistic to be between 30 and 40 when your third generation from you is born in here. It's completely realistic to be in your 50s when four generations are present in the ancient world. And so you're still like the head of the family who is in this view, and this is probably how they would see it too, is like you're in charge, you're the patriarch of the family, leading them in idol worship. They're all going to pay for that. Yeah. They're all going to be associated with the consequences you bring into that family. Right. That's why it says up to, to the third and fourth generations, because it was very common to have 3 or 4 generations alive in those families when they got started so early.
I saw a proverb the other day it's not from the book of Proverbs, just somebody said it. And it was, when you correct your son, you correct your grandson. And I thought that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What that little proverb, or when you teach your son, you teach your grandson.
Yeah.
Because whatever you teach your child, they will teach their child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a good. So I think that's what's going on here. Plus, what you're talking about is, you hear about, you go into the conversion of Christianity or these religions where they would go in and the king would get converted. So as goes the king, so goes the whole kingdom, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're the patriarch and you're in charge and you tell everybody this is what you're going to do, I mean, you affect the whole family that's alive. It ain't
That's exactly right.
It's not like they were like now our kids move off.
Yeah.
They didn't back then.
No,
you just built
they're
a
part of
room
the
on the
household.
house.
Yeah.
That's right.
And there's another element to the passage in the Ten Commandments is that this is actually a passage about mercy, because the consequences of the father's iniquity go to the third and fourth generations, right? The people who live in his household. But it seems to end there because that guy's going to die.
Yeah.
Right. But showing faithful love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commands. Right. So this is actually a passage about mercy and about how God limits the effects of evil people in the world in their idolatry. And so it doesn't say anything about guilt. Right. It's not about guilt. Guilt. It's clear in other passages like the Ezekiel passage that guilt is not transferred. And so when we talk about, something like why Mary had to be a virgin, right? Some people talk about this stuff sometimes. And it's kind of folk theology where they say it's so that Jesus would not have inherited sin from the Father, the guilt of sin from the Father. Is that true?
Guess so. I don't know.
It's not inherited guilt though. Ezekiel tells us that we don't inherit guilt.
No, I don't know if it's folk because I think that's pretty much Catholic dogma because they did the same thing for Mary.
No, it is. Yeah. No, I think it is Catholic dogma. I meant for like in our circles. Yeah.
We picked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I was taught it in seminary. I wonder what Erickson has to say about it. Yeah.
That's why. I don't know.
Of dodging original sin.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know who said that.
Bible verses for it?
I don't
feel
know.
like I think of anything.
I don't know.
The virgin birth is never mentioned again.
Never.
Outside of the birth passages.
Yeah. It doesn't say why. It doesn't say, and Jesus had to be born of a virgin to dodge the transmutation.
No, it just, there's the reference to Isaiah and Matthew.
Yeah, they even got down to arguing about whether or not that God used Mary's egg.
Really?
Yes. You know this. In the history of theology, I'm not talking about it in my seminary.
Oh, no, I got you.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Huge deal. They did. God did use Mary's egg. That's why she had to be sinless.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she was born immaculate.
That's
the Immaculate
Catholic
Conception
view.
is not about Jesus.
Yeah, it's about Mary.
It's about Mary.
Yeah, that she was sinless. Yeah.
Yeah. And remained a virgin until she died.
That's a Catholic view. That's not our view.
It's an Orthodox view also.
Is it really?
It was Luther's view also.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about the Immaculate Conception, but definitely that she remained a virgin throughout her life. Yes. Calvin
Jesus
too.
had brothers.
Calvin too.
They're wild.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, they're
Look
wrong.
it up, buddy.
I will. I trust you. No, I just think they're wrong.
I just think it's not necessary. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is so dumb.
Anyway. Yeah. That was not Catholic. The Immaculate Conception was not Catholic dogma until like 1858.
No, this like the 70s or what?
No, that was the Ascension
of Mary. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought those happened at the same time.
No.
Okay.
No. Once, man, history. They used to have an ecumenical council, but once the East and West broke, that established the papacy.
The West, yeah.
Now then, the Pope can the whole time he could just declare dogma.
Yeah.
Why did we have to have these meetings?
It could have been an email.
This could have been done in an email. Why do we have to travel all over the empire to get here? Yeah.
So what is it? So it's not a guilt passed on from the Father.
He's the second created being. He's created different. In some ways. I mean, he's a human. He's the second Adam, is what I'm trying to
Who are
say.
you talking about? Who
Jesus.
is- oh, Jesus.
Where were you talking about?
I said what's passed on to. I don't. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I wasn't talking about Jesus being born anymore. I'm
Oh.
saying what's passed on from fathers to their children. That when people are talking about original sin, what are we inheriting here?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
100%. I know what the Bible doesn't say we inherit a sin nature.
Yeah.
This is an extrapolation or an interpretation from the places where it says we were dead in trespass and sin.
Yeah.
Or where David says in a poem, which is probably not the best place to build a dogma, that surely I was conceived in sin.
Yeah.
And sinful from my mother's womb.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, he's sinful from his mother's womb. It's like, oh, it's a poem.
Yeah.
This means he's just really sinful forever.
Yeah.
You know,
is a baby sinful?
yeah. Is it?
I asked you. You have to answer that.
Man, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that they are born with propensity to sin. I don't think they're born with guilt. But
Well,
that's problematic in the sense that, well, then, would all the babies have gone to heaven that died in babyhood? Infancy, I guess is the word, not babyhood. Babyhood. If you die as a baby, do you have to have the cross? And if the answer is no, Jesus wouldn't have had to come. All the babies would have made it.
Well, do we know that they had to have the cross?
I would say they do have to have the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Jesus
your reason for that?
because he's the savior of all mankind.
But did they have to have the cross though?
Well,
Or do they need an atonement
They
for
wouldn't have
sin?
to. They wouldn't have to have a savior.
Do they need atonement over sin?
I think. I don't know how it works, but I wouldn't chance it.
Yeah, I don't want to chance it either.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad out there.
Yeah. So
I
what
wonder
what we're dealing with is like
I want to
you
get
down
my.
to it doesn't work, does it? Yeah.
dang it.
You're not Darth Vader. Yeah.
I'm not even Luke Skywalker.
No, go get it. I'll read this passage here. So later on in the Romans 5 passage, you have verse 19. Just as through one man's disobedience, the many were made sinners, right? And so there's like something is happened from Adam and onwards that has affected the trajectory of humans. I have my Erickson pulled up right here. If you're looking,
Oh, you got it on.
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, which one? What question are you looking for?
I was wondering what he was saying about the virgin birth. I'd like to know what he says.
Oh, okay. You're stuck on that one, aren't you?
I'm not stuck. I like it.
Yeah.
I wonder what he says. I don't want to be an accidental heretic. I want to do it on purpose. Virgin birth.
Yeah. What do you got?
He's got a bunch of stuff, man. 756 to 775. My goodness. That's a lot. So what do you think we're inheriting to the babies?
Well, my question was a second ago was like, is our baby sinful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they are. I don't, and I think it's okay. I think that Jesus, it can still be responsible for their resurrection and faith in Him and all those things. But the reason I don't think they're sinful is because it's a baby. They're not thinking of anything. But in the same way that if you were to mix flour, salt, butter, and whatever else you put in a vanilla extract in a cake, and you throw it in the oven, right? Mm-hmm. And you could be saying, I'm baking a cake, right? Is it a cake yet? No. It's just a pile of mushy, flour, milk and stuff, right? But it will be a cake. It will turn into a cake. In the same way that that's with children, is like that child will be a sinner. And in God's perspective, He is outside of time. He knows the end and the beginning all at the same time. Does it matter for the when that child will be a sinner, right?
Yeah.
They are a sinner because they will sin, right? So I think when you bring God's timelessness into it, that is a big corrector of some of the questions that we have in regards to children in their sinfulness. They will sin. All of them will sin, and they figure it out early, right? And they want to sin, and I think it's both. I don't think. I think the separation between nature and nurture is, in when it comes to psychology, definitely, but also in theology, is overestimated for that one. I think those things aren't nearly as potent as in their separateness as we think they are. It's like both. Like you can't separate the nature and the nurture.
I lean toward the idea that what we inherit is a kind of sickness. So then the cross of Christ is necessary even for the child.
Yeah.
We're born sin sick.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how that means. And look, Baptists have not been consistent on this.
Yeah.
We talk about the age of accountability.
Well, it's hard because this is one of those areas you don't get a lot of information.
No,
on. Like this.
You want to hear something wild?
Yeah. What you got?
So it says some theologians, particularly Catholics, we're talking about virgin birth, interpret the virgin birth as meaning that Jesus was not born in a normal fashion. In their view, he simply passed through the wall of Mary's uterus instead of being delivered through the normal birth canal. What? Oh my gosh! It was a miraculous cesarean section.
It is so ridiculous, man.
Man. Weird stuff, man.
This
is why
they got to stop. Those guys got to just stop.
That was like a 4th century formulation. This is why when Catholics are like thumping the whole, you got to listen to the church fathers because they got this straight from the apostles, and I read stuff like that, I'm like, bro, dude, what are we talking about? Okay, so back to what we inherit.
Yeah.
I could read more to that. That got really, really weirdly specific about why they believe that. I'm not going there. Anywho. I'll talk to you after the show. But I don't want to talk about Mother Mary that way. I hold her in high regard.
Yeah.
I don't need to be doing all this
Mary's
speculating.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, she's more than okay, man. She birthed Jesus. She's the
She's better than you
Theotokos.
being okay.
She's the Theotokos,
You're
man.
not okay. Yeah.
Do you think we should call her the God bearer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Theotokos means Theos is God. There was a huge controversy in the early church about whether or not we should call Jesus Mary the God bearer or just call her the cross bearer.
Yeah.
It is amazing when you look at church history after we stop getting killed. When they stop killing us for our faith, the stuff we start arguing about is wild.
It's really silly.
It's wild.
It's silly.
It can be,
Yeah.
but some people were saying it to deny Jesus' divinity,
Yeah,
and that's why folks get their
Yeah.
socks turned inside out. Anyway, sin sick. We inherit some kind of sickness. I don't think we can make movement toward God. We will make movement towards sin.
Yeah.
I don't think we're guilty until we sin.
Yeah.
I do not think our guilt is held against us until we sin.
Yeah.
But once we sin, it's our own, and you can't use nature as an excuse.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
No, I agree.
I think there's a point. This is Brad Williams speculation.
Yeah.
There's a point in everyone's life when you do your first real sin where you know you shouldn't do something and you do it. And that's your little garden moment.
Yeah. That's right. I think that's true. I'm not sure if I would go with the sickness thing. I just don't know because I don't have the first.
How would you?
I would talk about time. God's perspective on time, that you're as good as dead. You're as good as a sinner. You're as good as dead.
Yeah, it's sort of like there's this folk song about a snake. You ever heard this song?
I don't know.
It's on the way to work one morning on a road alongside the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor half-frozen snake. She wrapped it all in covers and she took it inside, and the snake bites her. And she's like, "Why did you bite me?" And the point of the song is, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up by the road."
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like this idea of sin.
That's why I think
it's
of
the
it.
nature of the beast.
Yeah, and so you could talk about nature or something, but the Bible doesn't use those words.
You never heard that song?
No, I don't. I like that though. That's good.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're as good as dead. You're as good as a sinner. You're as good as dead. You will sin. You live in the sinful world. All your examples are sinful. Everything you see is sinful. and maybe there is something corrupt inside of you. I don't know what it is exactly, other than what the Bible says. Is that
It doesn't say. I would not use the psalm that says, "Surely I was sinful from my mother's womb." To be like that is the knockout punch to say you were sinful from the moment you were born.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that
because
either.
it's a
Yeah.
poem.
Yeah.
If not, you have to do weird stuff about bashing out babies' heads against the rocks in Psalms.
Yeah,
Because a poem is meant to use hyperbole to say, I am really sinful and always have been.
yeah,
Is what that is as far as I would push it
Yeah.
for a doctrine. I wouldn't discount it and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, wouldn't use to say no, you're not."
yeah.
But,
You gotta be careful with the Psalms.
you got to be careful with everything.
Yeah.
But like a poem, when you're trying to write a poem. Now, if it had said, if Paul had written in Galatians, "You were sinful from your mother's womb," I'd be like, there it is. You're sinful from your mom's womb.
Yeah.
This is didactic passage. It's not a poem.
Yeah.
He's saying he didn't.
No.
But he did say we're dead in trespass and sin.
He says in Romans 3, they're like everyone is a sinner. They're
all sin.
Yep.
All sin.
And lack the glory of
And,
God.
and we
Yep.
do not have the glory of God. We the poison of asps is under our tongue. We are all swift to shed blood. We each go our own way. There's no one good, not one.
Yep.
Nobody, I don't think, in any form of real Christendom argues about that.
No, they
That
don't.
We all are bad.
Well, the reason they argue about what we're arguing about is very simple,
Yes.
and that's because there's babies involved.
Yes, babies involved.
Yeah,
And
they're trying to figure out
what happens to a baby
what
when
happens
it
to a
dies?
baby, and I get that. I mean, that's hard.
100%.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to be consistent pro-life, which Christianity is
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, I mean, there's liberal folks out there that don't deserve the label.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
just
true.
go ahead and say it.
That's true.
Drives me nuts. Talk about sin and appropriating
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Good grief. All these folks saying they're Christians and they don't believe that Jesus is God and Mary's not a virgin and this thing isn't sin and Paul didn't know what he was talking
Yeah,
about. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
You're not a Christian anymore.
Go find a different hobby.
Go say you're like, I don't know. Anyway, Christians are pro-life people. We believe that life starts at conception. That's not even Christian. Life starts at conception. That is a scientific fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of those don't ever make it out.
Yeah.
You have a fertilized egg that 3 or 4 weeks, first trimester or whatever. Something happens in a development, and you have a miscarriage. What happens to that?
Yeah.
Was that a baby? Was it ensouled? Never had a chance, obviously, to make a choice. Or it's not just babies. A lot of people are born so severely mentally handicapped that they'll never feed themselves.
Yeah, they have it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Like, people, there are a lot of hypotheticals that thrown around a lot of times when you talk about children and the handicapped out there about like what they know, and like people estimate, what age level are they? It's like a 2-year-old rest of their life or something. And one thing is though that faith is always a gift.
Always a gift.
It's always a gift, and it can be given to anybody.
John the Baptist
Yes.
had the Holy Spirit on him from the womb,
Yes.
which is why Luther said you ought to baptize your infants.
Yeah. maybe
what he
that's
said.
maybe that's a good argument. I don't know.
Yeah. He said, look, his number one argument is you're not saved because you figured it out and believed.
Yeah.
You're saved because God gave you faith.
Yeah. We all believe that it's a gift.
And clearly, the Bible says that baptism now saves you.
Yeah.
So, at baptism, you're granted faith by God, and it can happen to babies. So, kill the Baptists. That was the end of it. Get on your horses and kill all those Anabaptists.
So faith it can be granted to anybody. If it can be granted in a mother's womb.
I don't want to say this is. Oh man, I'm going to tell a story.
Okay.
So we, Justin and I work with Maker's Child.
Yeah.
And that's like a little respite care for folks with handicaps of their children. They can bring their children there, and we take care of them for a while, and we play games, we do all kind of stuff. And there's a guy there, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he has
Incredible
Down
guy.
syndrome.
Yeah.
And he loves to pray with you. And Justin made the great decision and mistake to ask him to pray
It was not a mistake.
Man,
I was
well,
touched.
mistake in
Yeah.
the sense that I still think about it. In the sense
Yeah.
that I still think about it, it makes me cry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what do you?
He's probably
60
in his,
IQ, 6500. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's Down syndrome.
Down syndrome.
And his parents had passed already. You know,
Yes.
honestly, he's old.
Yeah,
for
he's
Down
old.
syndrome.
Yeah,
He
I'd
made
say
it-
he's in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah, he made it a long time. And man, he starts praying. And what does he say?
He said, "Lord, I love you so much, Father," something like that.
yeah.
And he said, "I just can't wait to go to heaven. I'm gonna see my mama and daddy, and I'm gonna run through those gates, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna hug you and hug them." And I was like, "I ain't gonna make it."
Everyone in that room was like,
I was
what are we
like,
doing?
I have never
We're
prayed
crying.
this well.
You're tearing
in
up
my
right
life.
now.
I know, dude.
I am too. Oh, no.
He was so happy about it. It's like he was almost there,
I know.
dude.
It's like
I was like,
it was like he was talking to Jesus right there.
in the thing, he walked
Yeah.
up to me and he does this. He'll say,
Yeah.
"Hey, brother, do you mind if I pray for you?"
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Yeah, brother." And he'll say, "Lord, bless my friend
Yeah.
here. Lord, help
Yeah.
him. Help him have happiness.
Mhm.
We love you so much. Amen."
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, man. I suck.
Yeah.
This guy.
I think Jesus listens to
Oh,
him.
dude, he's
way
like
more
a
than he does
shining
me.
beacon
He
in the
is.
dark world.
He
man.
really is.
I
Yeah.
would kill somebody if they tried to hurt that guy.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I would bury them.
Yeah. And so
I'm just telling you.
a lot is made out about what people can know and
Yeah,
understand.
I wouldn't be talking about him. I've been in nursing home situations where there are people who are almost comatose and have
Yeah.
been since birth. I don't think those people go to hell, man.
No. No, I think, it's like there's John Piper does well with this.
Yay.
Yeah, I know he does some really good stuff. He does really well talking about what it means to be accountable for sin. Everyone wants to talk about age of accountability. Everyone wants to talk about innocence. And he says the way he talks about it is at just a definition level, like what you're talking about here. A lot of times with children, especially people in the hyper Calvinism world, the hyper Calvinists are like babies are in hell. They're all there. Like they're
Some are.
yeah.
Oh, they think all of them?
It depends
Hyper Calvinists think, though, there are elect babies.
well, but
Yeah.
not
But the
all of
unelect
them.
ones,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It depends on if you're Presbyterian or Baptist hyper Calvinist.
Yeah, Baptist hyper Calvinists are the worst.
They're terrible.
Well, horriblest.
In what was I saying? John Piper talks about it because he says they break their definitions so much when they start talking. They're talking about guilt and innocence and what they did, what these babies are guilty of and stuff. I was like, what? That doesn't even mean anything. You're talking about guilt. Like you can't be guilty for something you didn't do. When you have Ezekiel 18 sitting there saying you're not guilty of your father's sin.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're born guilty in sin. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And so if they are innocent and they can't be held accountable for things that they've neither done, participated in, thought about,
Yeah.
like they're okay.
What's interesting is in the 1689, I mean, one of the problems with theology is people think, I can't think anymore because everything's been solved, and if I say something stupid, I'm going to get into heresy and in trouble.
Yeah, they do
don't. You're not going to go to the police on this stuff, the heresy police or whatever. But the 1689 Message, London Baptist Confession of 1689 says that all babies who die in infancy are regenerated by God and brought to heaven.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do not know where they got it from, but I like it. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Like this is the one case over that whatever we bind on earth is bound in heaven. All the babies that die go right on to the glory.
Yeah. There's some good examples. Jesus talks about in Luke.
Children.
He said, "Let the little children come to me."
He says, "Theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
The kingdom of heaven
Belongs to them.
I know a lot of the translations really strangely soften the blow.
Yeah.
Because they want to make it. So many people have preached that passage to saying having a childlike faith.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That it's changed the interpretation a little bit, but so a lot of the translations soften that blow. Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is theirs.
Yeah.
It's them.
Yeah.
They're it. That's
They-
the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
It's not just like for childlike faith, people have childlike faith. It's like for the kids.
You got to become like a child.
Yeah. Because it's theirs.
Yeah. Like an innocent person. You got to be like an innocent being is what he's saying.
And that's part of the stuff that John
Yeah.
Piper says, that none of that makes any sense if when you're looking at a child, you're saying sinner,
Yeah.
right? Like a little
And
baby.
my personal opinion is some kids figure out how to sin quicker than others.
For sure.
Yeah, there is no educatability.
Yeah.
Well, there was in the Old Testament, though. It was up till your kid was 12, the bar mitzvah. Before that, the parents got in trouble for their behavior. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, that's not in the Bible, though.
Yeah.
It's tradition.
No, there is. Doesn't it talk about when it talks about the death penalty? Up to 12?
It might talk about for death penalty, but
as far as accountability
the
goes.
tradition around innocence and guilt, damnable guilt, right? Is that's tradition, and it's really actually it's mostly Christian stuff added onto it.
Yeah.
You figuring it out?
Yeah, I'm figuring it out.
All right.
I'm going to figure all this stuff out for y'all so you don't have to.
Yeah, instead of just me and Brad knowing it. All right, that's original sin. You're born with something. Something. What?
There's
Yeah, what do
other
you wanna
passages about
yeah,
this
what do you
we're
wanna
not
talk
even
about?
thinking about.
Which one do you want?
So in Isaiah 7, when it's prophesied about the Messiah, one of the weird things it says, and this pops up often enough in the Bible, it says, before the child is old enough to know good from evil.
The good and bad, yeah.
Yeah. Like before they can make a culpable moral decision, the Lord will be upon him. I think that's Isaiah chapter 7.
There's a lot of references.
And he talks about it when Jonah goes to Nineveh. He says there's 100,000 people there and a bunch of cattle. God actually cares about the cattle out there. And he says, who don't know their right hand from their left, which is a way to say they don't even know good from bad. Should I not have sent you to preach to them and to call on them to turn from their evil? So there is this biblical idea of a time before a child knows to choose their good from evil, that they're not accountable. Like when a child is 2 years old and he's trying to steal the other kid's toy, you got to teach them not to do that.
Yeah.
But they're doing what the child does. You might say, well, there's the sin nature right there. It's like, maybe in the perfect world, the children all share. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, that's the story of the garden, too.
I have heard people say children crying to be fed is selfish.
That's dumb.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, people are flipping.
I had a guy one
Dude,
time.
that's the only thing that baby can do.
Buddy, I know. I wanted to get in a fist fight with somebody one time because they said the kids shouldn't say Jesus loves me because we don't know if the kid that God loves that kid.
God loves that kid.
Man,
he loves that kid more than you.
I was like, he don't love you, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
right.
what's wrong with
God
you.
don't love you.
What in the world? How did you get to where you are right now?
Oh my goodness.
But what's good is you can believe all kind of dumb stuff, and God will still have mercy on you.
He will. But the story of the garden, like it's a tree of the knowledge of good and bad.
Evil.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
evil. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And in Adam and Eve are portrayed childlike. They don't know good from bad.
They don't even know they're naked.
Yeah, they don't know. And what kind of humans don't know they're naked?
Oh, it's the innocent ones.
Children.
Yeah. Adam and Eve were just like 12 years old when they ate the fruit.
Who knows? I don't know. They might have been.
Well, the thing is, man, we don't know nothing.
We don't know.
I don't think they were 12. I think they were grown up. He was 30.
How do you know?
I don't know. Seems
You don't
right.
know.
Well, he was a man. He was a man. A man. They had a baby soon after that. I don't think
How do you know it was soon?
Because it happened right in the next verse, man.
It is the next verse, but we don't really know the timestamps.
We don't know how long he was in there.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that Adam and Eve didn't make it in an hour in the garden. It's like, how do you know that?
Yeah, you really don't know. You get no timestamps.
No
Yeah,
time steps.
Yeah.
They lived 1,000 years.
Yeah. All right.
Almost.
Let's do next thing. We'll finish up with this: the consequences of sin.
Yeah, we made sin sound like not a big deal for a second there. It feels like, I don't know.
Did we?
I don't know.
I think we've been raising the stakes a bunch.
It's horrible.
All right. Separation. Sin
Separation
separates.
from God.
Separation and others.
In that way, okay, we
Yeah.
should have talked about this
Yeah.
already. In that way, all children experience the effects of the fall from Adam because we are separated from God.
Yeah.
We're no longer in the Garden of Eden where he walks with us in the day and we can see him.
And it's
that stuff.
obvious.
It's
Like
obvious.
you didn't wake up in the Garden of Eden this morning.
The reason we have atheists is this exact reason. They're like, where is God? Why can't we see him? Why don't then there more evidence? Like, well, we do. We got kicked out.
Yeah. That's
Got
right.
kicked out of his presence, bro.
And then you chose the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And keep
now,
doing it.
And now you're looking around.
All right.
I was listening to an atheist the other day, and she was talking about how all of spirituality and stuff is dumb. And she said, we just haven't figured out the mystery of consciousness yet. And she just like went by it like, whoop. And I was like, sister, that's a speed bump you ought to stop at for a second there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say, we haven't figured out consciousness yet. It's like, okay. Now, that's where you should be camped, not Christians are dumb.
Yeah.
Sin is not dumb. Consciousness is not dumb. There's a spirit world out there, and we are separated from God, and that's why we're so confused.
Yep.
And it's because of sin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guilt and shame.
Shame. Shame can be bad. Shame can be good.
Yeah. I mean the bad shame.
Bad shame. Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
The shame that that begets more sin.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's two ways,
Yeah.
right? So one is if you do something evil, you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it should lead you to repentance.
Yeah.
There is a way where you hide your sin because you're ashamed of it, and you keep doing that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get any help because you're scared people find out you're a sinner.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who won't get baptized because they don't want people to know that they're not Christians now.
Yeah. That they haven't been.
That they haven't been.
That
So
yeah.
this is pretty common with
very common.
people that grow up in church.
Yeah.
And they just, for whatever reason, never made a profession of faith, never put their faith in Christ or what, but they've been so Christian adjacent. Maybe they were even baptized as kids, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother thing we can talk about. But they think, I'm not a Christian, but I can't tell nobody.
There's people that are even like I've had these conversations that's like not only but they didn't grow up in church. None of that. It's just an embarrassing thing to say I'm an adult and now they believe in Christ and I've not been baptized and they don't want to be baptized because it's embarrassing. That's the point. It's supposed to be humbling.
It's supposed to be humbling.
It's supposed to be.
It's a death.
It is.
It's a death to the old self.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to be mean or gory or something. There is no death that is proud. No. I've watched people die. I've never seen one where I thought, man, they did that well.
Yeah.
It's always a humiliating experience.
Yeah. It's humbling. It's the great
Humbling.
humbler. Yep.
Yeah.
So, spiritual death,
Yeah.
that's a consequence of sin.
Yes.
And so that's the Ephesians 2 passage. You're deading your sin and trespasses,
Yeah.
which you once walked.
If you can understand that verse, you're dead
Yep.
or have been.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
That in the idea of spiritual death is that the kind of death that sin brings is eternal, and it doesn't stop. It's hell is what that means, and you're gonna die. There's a second death that awaits you.
Yeah, you just keep drifting further and further away from the source of life because of sin, and deeper into the darkness of sin. It reminds me of one time I went fishing with my granddad. I don't know why this illustration popped in my head, but we were in his little bass boat, and I was probably 10, 12 years old, and we were at the dock, and there was a little store there on the dock that sold like sausage and biscuits and stuff, and he said, hold the boat at the pier, and I'm going to go get us a sausage and biscuit. So I was holding it on the pier, and the boat started drifting back while I was hanging on to it, and it got to a place where I couldn't pull it back. And I was suspended, parallel. My toes were on the boat. My hands were on the pier when my granddad walked out with the biscuits. And I can remember looking up at him, and I had maybe a half second before the boat was so far away, it was over. And I was just like, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I went, sploosh, right in the water, dude. I fell in. And we had to go home. It was like before daylight, man. It was terrible. But anyway, that's the way sin will do. It'll just drift away to one day. You just fall in. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to froze to death. Yeah. Anyway.
Is another one. Physical death.
Yeah.
Not just spiritual death, physical death.
That's because you're intimately joined.
yeah.
You are a physical being and you are a spiritual being, and you're in hypostatic union with those two things.
Right.
You can't be complete without either.
You're going to die one day.
You are.
Every one of us. And that's
Your
because
body-
of sin.
Your body gonna die.
Your body's going to die.
And if you die and your body's dead, while your spirit's dead, you are eternally dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be in hell.
Yeah.
If your spirit is alive while this body wastes away, you get a new body.
Mm-hmm.
It's analogous to the one you have now, but it'll be different. You might be able to teleport. I'm not sure. Jesus did.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he counts
Philip
for what we
did.
do. Yeah, I don't know.
He's a human just like us.
But Philip wasn't regenerate. Wasn't
That's
I'm
true.
sorry,
He got to teleport before he got his new body.
Yeah, that's right.
Teleportation's on the table. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. Suffering.
Oh.
Oh, sin leads to suffering.
Sin leads to suffering, yours and those who don't deserve it.
Yep, that's right. Because your sin breaks things. It breaks you,
Yes.
and it breaks others.
And this is science, man. They might call it stress or
Yeah,
something, but
yeah.
the body keeps the score.
Yeah,
Is one of the
trauma.
trauma.
Yeah.
We often call sin trauma now.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't.
Now, I'm not saying trauma doesn't exist. Do
Yeah.
not misunderstand
Yeah.
me. I'm just saying, if you are living alone and you're miserable, and I start poking around and I find out it's because you're a raging alcoholic, you beat your wife and she fled the country with your children, you never got to see him again, and you're calling that trauma, I'm like, well, yeah, but bro, that's sin.
Yeah.
You sinned horrifically.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And, that may sound silly, but I have literally counseled people who have been that terrible and still blame everybody else for their misery.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, trauma is can be definitely the effects. A lot of the effects of sin, a lot of the suffering effects for sin are traumatic.
I would think about it as a trauma if you're using the sense of sin inflicted upon you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Then yeah. Okay.
yeah, for sure. But if you're talking about the consequences for your terrible decisions,
Yes.
come on, man.
You've met these people.
Oh yeah, I know.
And we
Very
couch it
familiar.
up. I think about this, man, because we talk about this a lot. We make jokes about it. We talk about sociopaths and psychopaths and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, sin can get you there.
Oh, it can.
Sin can get you there. It's not just necessarily a thing you were born with. You can
Sin can take you into mental illness.
That's
for
right.
sure.
If you sin enough, if you are can we even say this stuff anymore? If you are a slut, if you are a man slut, if you are a woman slut, you sleep around all over the place, and then you wonder why you can't bond to a partner. You might want to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying you can't get back. I am saying that sin has serious consequences to your ability to do the good.
Yeah.
And it will mess you up and you will carry trauma. Self-inflict. And sometimes people behave that way because of something people did to them when they were a child.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. So and these are the consequences of sin that bad things are going to happen to you in this world. It's just going to happen. There's lots of bad things.
Yeah.
And it can by the Lord's grace and mercy, He can make you grow from those things and learn and lots of beautiful things can happen.
Hey.
You can also be corrupted by it.
Yes.
And you can become the abuser that abused you.
You do. Me and Justin talk about this all the time. You will become your father.
Oh yeah.
The boys become their fathers.
Oh yeah.
It's a spooky thing,
Yeah.
even when they're not there.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes, especially when they're not.
Yeah. Maybe.
Now, in some ways, that's okay, but because if you had a good dad,
Yep.
But like inheriting the coping mechanisms, the trauma, the sins of your father, if you aren't consciously thinking about stuff, you will become that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the corruption in suffering that comes from sin, a lot of times it's sometimes it's hard to see too. Like you discover it later on. How many times do you talk to a guy that said something like, my life, later on in life, and my life could have been a lot better had I made better decisions when I was younger.
Yeah.
How many of those have you talked to?
How many of those am I?
Every person. Everybody.
Well,
right?
you're gonna do dumb stuff when you're young. You ain't wise yet.
Yeah, but we're talking sin stuff. We're not talking about just general like, I took a bad job or something like that. I mean, like
sin.
You messed yourself up. You messed your marriage up. You
exploded it.
Yeah. There's lots of things.
There's a little haunting passage if you flip it. It's in Hebrews, and it talks about how Moses did not consider being the prince of Egypt. He would rather have suffered with the people of God than live in a season of sin. And I think about how like people don't understand that one moment of sinful pursuit is a nuclear bomb in the rest of your life.
That's what we talked about earlier. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, man. But you were just talking about how people blow up marriages and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it takes nothing.
It takes nothing
to blow up a marriage. Yeah.
People probably thinking about like a one-night stand or an affair.
To destroy
that will
your
do
children?
it. That will destroy it.
Yeah.
It don't take that. You can call your kids stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You can say you're stupid.
Yeah.
And the rest of your life, you may tell them how smart they are, how much you love them and stuff, but down in their soul branded, they'll think, my dad thinks I'm stupid.
Yeah, forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Don't do that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And just so you know, parents, you've sinned against your kids. They're going to need help.
They are. They're all going to need help.
You did the best you could, maybe, but you messed up some, too.
Just remember, the best you could do still sucks.
Yep. You need to apologize early and often.
Early and often.
Yes.
Yeah.
I apologize to my kids. They'll be like, what are you
all the
apologizing for?
time.
I'm like, I don't even know what to apologize
All
for.
the time, man.
You get really reflective when they're fixing to fly the coop, the very last one.
Is that about to happen to you?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like 2 months.
I know it.
My last one's going to be out, and I look back over the 5 minutes I had them. This is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And you just think, it's like that Schindler's List moment, man. Like, I could have saved 5 more. I could have sold this thing. It's like, man, I should have. I don't know if I did a good job. I don't know.
You did pretty good.
I don't know.
I like your kids.
I know, but that may not be my fault.
Yeah, it might be
just
Amy.
be the grace of God.
All right, yeah.
Sometimes good parents have bad kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad parents have the best kids.
Yeah, it happens every once in a while.
God's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I think your chances are better if you have good parents.
To the 1000th generation, brother.
I think
to the 1000th generation.
I think your chances are better.
I'm hanging on to that like Jacob at the River Jabbok, baby. I will not let you go till you bless me.
All right.
You said. Mm-hmm. That's what the Lord. Yeah. Hey, look, if you ever want to wrestle with God, there's only one way to win. You ready? You have to say his words back to him.
Yeah, that's right, actually.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what the Songs of Lament are. That's what the Lamentations are.
I will remember, he said.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It's not that he forgot.
No, it's just that you need to remember, and you need to trust him. And one of the greatest signs that you would trust God is that you would remember what he says and show that you care about that promise, All right, that's all the time we got to talk about hamartiology.
Okay.
Sin. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
See ya.